Look, 2025 is right around the corner. It's time to stop messing around and to start building the business that will set you financially free. Now, since it's probably the first time you and I meet, why should you listen to me? My name is Fred and I'm an entrepreneur from a lower middle class background. I went from having only $400 to my name over 5 years ago to making upwards of $1,000 a day as a 21-year-old selling consulting and services online. A lot of people think that the reason they're not successful yet is because they're not hardworking enough or because they don't have enough skills. Maybe it's their accent holding them back, their race, their gender, their age. Well, spoiler alert, it's none of these things. Typically, the average person doesn't even realize the many opportunities we have to make money online today. But since you're watching this video, it's probably not you. However, even though you are part of the minority of individuals who understand that the riches are hidden online nowadays, the internet is the new best way to make money. The reason why you're not successful yet is because of two things. The first is that even though you know what you want, which is to make $10,000 per month, let's say, to be financially free, to have more time for yourself, to provide for the people that you love, you still don't know how to make it happen. And on the other hand, what's holding you back is probably consistency and discipline. A lot of people preach that you need to be disciplined and consistent if you want to become successful, and that's true. I'm not going to tell you the opposite. However, a lot of people forget that what matters even more than how consistent or how hardworking you are, it's what you're working on. Warren Buffett literally said it himself. It doesn't matter how hard you row, it matters what boat you're in. It's probably one of my favorite quotes ever, just because of how accurate it is. The best example I can give you to illustrate my point is that let's say you're selling something that nobody wants. It doesn't matter how hard you work, it doesn't matter how talented you are, how smart you are. If nobody wants what you have to offer, you won't make a single cent, no matter how hard you try to push it. It's the same as working in a fast food joint, making burgers all day long. If you want to become a millionaire, you know that this job alone won't make you rich. You could be the most hard-working employee in the company, but you still won't become a millionaire through that job because your earning potential is capped. You are paid per hour of your time, not for the value that you provide or the problems that you solve. And the number one lesson you need to learn if you want to become wealthy is that you need to dissociate the amount of time that you spend at work with the amount of money that you earn, because at some point you can't work more hours. And so the way that you do that is by offering a solution to people's problems. That way, you get paid based on the value you provide and not for your time. Now, if you don't want to hear raw, unfiltered advice, it's best you click off this video now. Part of the reason why you're still broke right now is most likely because you still think like a broke person. Broke people typically have a scarcity mindset and they fail to recognize opportunities. And that makes sense. If you grew up in an environment where you lacked money, if like me you grew up lower middle class or even worse, then of course you're very likely to develop a scarcity mindset because you didn't grow up around abundance. Your brain still thinks there isn't enough to go around. So it's your brain's way of protecting you just in case it happens again in the future. But that can prevent you from making the decisions that will change your life. It can prevent you from taking a risk and making your dreams happen. And while there are people who are genuinely poor, like they can't even buy rent, they're homeless, they can't even buy food, most people fall within the broke category. They typically have a 9-to-5 job that they hate just to pay their bills and their taxes. They know they want more out of life, but oftentimes they lack a clear direction and they're too scared to take action, even though they know for a fact that what's on the other side of taking action, of the fear they feel, is everything they've ever wanted. Growing up, I would often see my mother filling out online surveys to try to get free products at the grocery store. She'd always try to find coupons and promotion codes, and every time it would just break my heart to see her do that. I thought that's no way to live. Now, when I was a kid, I went to a private middle school, and even though it wasn't an expensive private middle school, lots of wealthy kids also went to that school. I would see them getting dropped off to school in brand new Porsches and BMWs. They were walking around with expensive clothes, the latest iPhone, while at the time, I didn't even have a phone, and I was often forced to take the crowded bus to go to school. After the summer breaks, they would often tell stories of their vacations to Rome, to Italy, to Greece, to New York City, and it felt inspiring, but I was also envious, because growing up, we never did any of these things. We couldn't really afford it. I have a lot of people who come to me for help, and a lot of them, they tell me they've tried to do some kind of dropshipping with paid ads before, and they lost a lot of money. They tell me they've invested into crypto or in the stock market, and the same thing happened. They lost thousands of dollars. When you're not even making $10,000 per month consistently, you shouldn't worry about investing. Stop listening to these so-called financial experts who tell you that if you want to become wealthy, you need to never ever buy a $5 Starbucks coffee, save all your money, invest in a 401k, and invest $200 a month in the stock market for the next 50 years, so that hopefully maybe one day you'll finally be wealthy and you'll be able to retire and finally enjoy life. You know, when you're 60, 70, 80. Stop waiting for something external to change your financial situation. If you genuinely want to become wealthy and enjoy your life while you're still young enough to enjoy it, while you still have the people that you love around you, you need to take responsibility of your financial future because no one else is going to do it for you. So first, focus on finding a way to make more money. And if you're going to save money, I genuinely believe that the only instance you should do that is so that you can invest in yourself. And by investing in yourself, I mean investing into education, into books, into courses, into mentors, because you don't know what you don't know. Chances are, if you knew what successful business owners know, you would already be a successful business owner yourself. If you'd like to discover how I went from struggling financially, only having $400 to my name over 5 years ago, to making upwards of $1,000 a day as a 21-year-old, I've recorded a free video in which I share with you my step-by-step process. That way, you can literally get started today. The link will be in the description. Or if you're committed to becoming financially free and building your business, you can book a free call with me or my team and we'll see if we can help you. Every day, I have lots of people coming to me, and every time, whenever I ask them what they've tried before to find success online, they tell me 9 times out of 10 they've tried dropshipping with paid ads. Now back in 2019-2020, I did too. A friend of mine was going to buy an expensive 2.5k dropshipping course at the time, so we decided to work on it together. So we found a winning product, which was basically a cool, trendy product, by spying on the competition's top performing ads. So we built a Shopify store around a flat squeeze mop. That was the winning product. Then I created some creatives for Facebook ads and I launched the ad campaign. And 30 minutes later, we got our first sale. I couldn't believe it. That moment alone changed my life because it made me realize, yes, you can actually make money online. It's not too good to be true. It's not just accessible to others. It showed me I could do it too. Now, to tell you the truth, we spent close to $200 on ads and we only made $50. And because at the time we were both broke high school students, it's not like we could afford to spend $100 per day on paid ads. You have to understand that not every business model is equal. Online, you will find plenty of videos on the top 10 best business models for beginners, but most of these videos are trash because the person making these videos hasn't even tried the business models they're going to share with the audience. They don't even care whether you succeed or fail. Their whole channels revolve around videos like top 10 websites to earn $100 a day, but nobody actually earns money off of those. With a business model like dropshipping, you not only need to spend a lot of money on ads every day in order to get a shot at making it work, but on top of that, even if you were successful with a dropshipping store, because it's based around a trend, you would need to recreate another Shopify store based around a completely different product when the trend dies. So every time you have to start from scratch all over again. You never grow a loyal customer base that will stay with you throughout the years and recommend your brand to their friends. Every time you erase all your momentum. And to test a new product, you'll need to spend a few $100 a day, even a few $1,000 on ads. And on top of that, if you wanted to make $10,000 per month doing dropshipping, you would need to convince hundreds, if not thousands of people to buy from you every month. And that's not easy to do. Profit margins are also extremely small. You'd be very lucky to keep $1,000 after tax out of the initial $10,000 you made. Instead, the best possible online business that you can start is a consulting business. Why? Because anybody can get started, even with no previous experience or skills. I'm not going to bullshit you like the big gurus. It's not easy, but if you put in the work and you follow a proven step-by-step process, you can replace the income that you make with your job and even make $10,000 per month and even go further. So you can either sell services or consulting directly. Let's say in the past you overcame an addiction. You can consult other people, so teach them how to do it themselves, because you can't provide that as a service. You can't overcome an addiction for somebody else. You show them how they can do it. Or let's say you're very good at video editing. You could provide that as a service. But what happens if you have no skills, you have nothing to teach, and no work experience? What you can do is that you can sell a service even if you don't know how to deliver that service yourself. I know very successful agencies. If I told you the name of some of them, you would be shocked. But the person running the agency has never provided the service themselves for the customers, and the customers don't care, and they're getting amazing results. So you can do that by leveraging remote contractors who are going to do the work for your customers. So your job would be to find customers, close the deals, and then have the contractor take care of the service delivery aspect. You'd be able to charge anywhere from $500 up to $5,000 per customer. And if you provide the service or the consulting yourself, you can have as high as 98% profit margins. If you take a look at the first videos I posted on my YouTube channel, you will see back in September of 2022, I was literally posting video sales letters that I would typically show some of my prospects before they hopped on a call with me. At the time, I was providing done-for-you/done-with-you lead generation services to entrepreneurs. I was helping them to book more meetings. That was the main offer. My first customer paid me something like $300, but then I was able to increase my prices. And at some point, I was pitching people for $2,000 a month. And it's by doing consulting that I was able to have my first $1,000 a day as a 21-year-old. So look, you need to make a choice. You can keep watching plenty of YouTube videos on how to make money online, but doing that won't make you money. Or if you're committed to becoming financially free, you can check out the free resources in the description, or you can directly book a free call with me or my team and we'll see if we can help you. That being said, if you found this video helpful, share it with a friend, and together let's blow up this YouTube channel and empower ambitious individuals across the globe to become financially free.